You know, it's nighttime. Have you ever felt like you couldn't go to sleep at night? There was just so much on your mind, and it's different because you didn't go to school and you haven't been to school in several weeks because of this virus, COVID-19. Well, you know what? This is what I like to do when I'm having trouble sleeping. I like to curl up in my bed with my favorite stuffed animal, and I like to read. So I'm going to read you a story called The Paper Bag Princess. It's one of my favorites, and as I read it, I think you'll figure out why. Listen how much this princess is able to do for herself. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all of her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald, poof, just like that. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and she followed the dragon. He was very easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Eek. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on the door. And she took hold of that knocker and she banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I'm a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Whew, rude dragon. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait!" shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the most smart and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh yes," said the dragon, and he took a huge deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth, and the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth, but this time the dragon took another breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds? "Why, yes," said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again!" So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down and went straight to sleep. Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired, he didn't even move. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are such a mess. You smell like ashes. Your hair is all tangled, and you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a bum." And they didn't get married after all. I think one of the reasons I like this story so much is because it didn't matter what happened to Elizabeth. It didn't matter what happened to her clothes or her house or the things around her. She made up her mind, she set a goal, and then she went off to accomplish it. And at the very end, when someone judged her for the way she looked, she decided, "I am not what you think I am, and I will go off and be what I am, which is a strong child." I hope you have a really good night. Cuddle up and don't worry about anything. It's all going to be okay.